It's a couple of months now. It's probably going into 3 months now of evbstudio.HOME at Ning. And it's been great, and I'm really excited, and I'm excited that people are joining and that they're taking workshops. And wanted to kind of talk about workshops and talk about other things that you might see happening on here or hear about, and kind of let you know a little bit more about me, because it's nice to know who you work with. So I gathered some work up, and I wanted to talk about things that are happening that you can participate in. So there's the first Saturday mini shops every month. The first Saturday of the month, there'll be a new object that goes up, and there'll be PDF instructions with really good imagery to follow to walk you through the object of the month. In February, we did hearts. We did little hearts. In March, we did spring bulbs. So just kind of getting the idea of new growth and things starting to happen. Really cool, nice little organic shapes. There's no right, there's no wrong. You know, it's just like things that grow in nature. So clay is made for stuff like this. This one's a little bit bigger. And that's a nice thing when you're working on your own at home. You can do this in any size that you want. The only thing is when you work smaller, like keeping it under 3 inches, you can work solid. You don't have to have a hollow piece. If you work bigger, it's better to have a hollow inside. So you can either carve that out, or you can work in a pinch kind of technique. But take these workshops and learn from them and develop yourself. The bulbs are a great one for just playing with some organic forms, letting the clay work with you and work for you. You know, organic cracks and layers and flubs and little spikes that come off, all sorts of stuff like that. April, we had April Fools, and so we did little gesture kind of things. Again, you know, do they have to be gestures? No, that can be anything you want. I walk you through doing a real simple face, give you the instructions to have. This guy's hollow, so they're almost like, I think I might do a in-studio workshop of finger puppets that kind of developed off the idea of this. So they're hollow and they're small. We go through a real simple face. You can give them little horns or tassels or hair or no hair. This guy almost looks like he could go diving or something. Something about that reminds me of a deep sea diving helmet or something like that. But I mean, just take them and go someplace with them. Go somewhere that's fun for you. One of the more intense workshops that's up online right now is the narrative self-portraits. And that one is really, really cool. A little bit more intense, but still, I think, suitable for, you know, beginner plus. Maybe not if you've never touched clay, but it's really not that hard. We're going to make plaster masks, or we do make plaster masks of our faces. Then those plaster masks become the mold that we stick clay in, and then we get our face. And then we can tell a story on our face. So check these classes out and see, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to fail, because you're not going to fail. The instructions are really great. I got to tell you, the things that are happening online, some of those classes I teach physically in the studio, and I could take online pieces of people that worked alone with PDF instructions and put them next to pieces of people who sat here next to me and worked with me, and you would not be able to pick out who did what. They are just as good. And so that's real exciting to me. My own work happens too. I mean, so I'm teaching online, I'm teaching physically. I do residencies and teach in elementary schools. I'm teaching all over the place. And I also have commitments that are coming up and that pop up, and so new things come into the mix. I have a show in February of 2010, and I have a show in September of 2009. And so I have 2 different bodies of work that I'm going to have to develop and get ready for those. And wanted to show you this. You've seen pictures of these maybe up online. And I'm calling this the Milagro series. And I'm working with anatomically correct dish hearts. You know, they're not perfect, but they're close. And what I'm thinking about with these is the mechanical function of an organ and the emotional effects that can also affect that organ. So I've got this heart that's very mechanical and shows all the function and makes us think of our bodies and our health and our well-being. And then on the large one, I have the word enough. written into it. You know, it's just kind of to think like, are you content and have enough? Or are you stressed out and that's enough of doing this to yourself? I mean, I like that word because it can go in both directions. There'll be the one big heart, and then what I'm hoping or thinking right now is that there'll be 4 smaller ones, and so they'll hang in a grouping on the wall. These are flat on the back to hang. The smaller ones aren't going to use text, but they're going to use imagery. So this one has a little bird that's kind of worked into the heart, kind of disguised into the heart. For things that make my heart sing, for things that make me want to aspire and fly and reach and soar and be above. It's just something that is motivational to me. It's kind of why I'm calling the series Milagro series too, because like those little Milagro charms that you can get that are supposed to help bring strength to different organs or limbs or our minds. And it's just a reminder of positive thinking. So these are very much on that wavelength of emotionally how we can affect physically. And so the organs stand for that physicality, and the imagery and the text stands for the emotional. So that's about me. So I'm, doing all this stuff. I'm hanging out here. I'm hanging out in the studio. I'm working. Do I sleep? Not a whole lot. But I do what I love. I do what I love, and it's really, really important for all of us to do what we love. So take a look at the workshops. Get involved in something. Try one of the free classes. Get your hands dirty. It's not really that dirty either. People think, oh, play, I can't do it in the house. I worked on the coffee table in the living room for 6 years. My kids were little. I had big dogs. It wasn't that messy. It's not that bad. So take the plunge. Try some clay. Try some 3D work. And thanks for being here. Bye.